What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Also hit the notification bell so you can get all my videos. So I've been reading sites, just checking out some things, listening to people talk, people meet close to me personally as well, over the last couple months. And lately I've been reading some sites in regards to SGA. SGA is playing very good right now. He's MVP of the league. OKC is in process of possibly winning a championship. And, he's playing very good. But some of the sites that I'm reading, especially yahoo.com and a couple of others, you can go check them out yourself, where it says the Clippers must be cringing, or they got to be cringing, the fact that watching how good SGA is leading OKC, and they're actually in the process of winning a championship, and he's the MVP of the league. Now, I want to say this. I don't want to disrespect SGA, but even though SGA is playing good and he's the MVP of the league, and OKC is tied 1-1 in the finals, I still personally think that the Clippers, they didn't make a mistake. Not at that time. Because at that time, SGA was very young. They didn't see this upside. And not a lot of people could sit here and tell me they saw SGA becoming this. To say they saw him becoming a better player, a star player in the league or something like that, okay, that's understandable. But a lot of people didn't foresee SGA becoming an MVP of the league this soon and leading a team to the NBA Finals. And not only that, if you look at the team, the way that team is stacked with Caruso, Jalen Williams, they got dogs on that team. They got a really good, complete team. And a coach that understands his players and know how to get the best out of his players with the system that they're running. So, and they're young on top of that, so they got time to even get even better, which is scary. But at the time, the Clippers made the best decision possible. And even, I can say this now, even as good as SGA is, he's not better than Kawhi Leonard. He's not a better player than Kawhi. Kawhi has led a team to multiple championships on a big stage, playing a team a whole hell of a lot harder than the Indiana Pacers. I mean, personally, Kawhi, if Kawhi is in the finals against a team like Indiana, Kawhi's team is probably up 2-0. I mean, a team like that who doesn't have a really solidified superstar and their best player is a passer more than a scorer, you should be up 2-0 in the finals. That's not even hating on SGA and OKC, but they really should be up 2-0. It shouldn't be 1-1 going back to Indiana, where Indiana can possibly win both games and damn near take the series. But either way, that's neither here nor there. I understand more or less when you think about SGA, you're going to compare him to Paul George, because Paul George is really the reason why SGA isn't there. Now, personally, I think SGA might not have been there even with Kawhi there, because, of course, he would have got better and he would have won his own team anyway and probably left because he felt like he was, could do it on his own, possibly the better he got. So we can eliminate Kawhi because Kawhi was going to come there anyway, but Kawhi requested for Paul George, which really sent SGA packing. And at the time, as I said, nobody thought it was a problem at the time. Everybody thought Kawhi and PG could make it work and possibly get to a finals, if anything, or possibly win a championship and or both. And neither one of them happened due to injury and just it not being their time to do so, or do so as a duo. But either way, at the time, the Clippers don't feel like they made a bad decision because SGA was much younger then. I don't even think his hair was even grown as much as it is now. And he was a baby in the NBA, so you really couldn't expect much out of him, especially being on a Clippers team that wasn't winning or that wasn't going nowhere no time soon. So the Clippers did the best thing they thought at the time, was getting two superstar caliber players there and putting them in position with a bunch of decent role players around them, and hopefully they could win now. That was their mentality. And you can't blame a team for thinking that, because most teams would take the same chance any given day. They're not worried about what a player will become, because there's no guarantee that player will become that. Injuries happen. The NBA happens. The game is too much for some players. They get overwhelmed. They never live up to expectation. There's so many things that go into things going right for a player to turn out to be great as projected. It's really hard to tell. Even though you can see a kid's potential, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to turn out that way. I mean, look at Zion Williamson, for one. A lot of people projected Zion to be the next greatest thing ever or in the NBA. And Zion is not even close because, for one, he couldn't keep his weight down. Number two, he has problems off the court. And number three, I just feel like he doesn't even really want to play for New Orleans. He just want to get a check out of him and milk it as much as he can and try to move on to another city where he feels like he's more comfortable personally. But who knows what's going on with that situation? But either way, just because you project a situation doesn't mean it's going to turn out that way. Luckily, SGA turned out for the good. OKC is where he's supposed to be. You know, it's inevitable he was supposed to go there. So, I mean, we can't go back and forth with all these notions of the Clippers regret not having SGA. No. They don't regret anything, and nor should they, because like I said, SGA turned out exactly who he's supposed to be. He's exactly where he's supposed to be now in OKC, and that's just inevitable. That's the way it was supposed to go. Kawhi was supposed to be on the Clippers as he landed. So was everybody else who got there. It didn't work out so far. It doesn't mean it can't work out in the future. Kawhi is still there. He's still showing that he's a top player. In the playoffs, he looked great. At the end of the season, mid-season when he came, he looked great. A couple years before that, when he played 68 games, he looked great. The crazy thing with the Clippers, more or less so, may be crazy, may not be crazy, but the issue with the Clippers have always been their health. Now, this year, James Harden just happened. We know. Game 7, Harden, as always trash. So they just need to clear up some space, get some guys out, or put guys in different positions where they can excel at and add new pieces, maybe a Kevin Durant if they can, or Giannis, and definitely get Drew Holiday in there or somebody like that. Add some focal point pieces and star pieces if you can, and then try to go at it that way because, like I said, the West is getting tougher, but at the same time, the Clippers still have a chance as long as they got Kawhi Leonard and they have pieces around him that fit what he does well. And I don't think James Harden is the perfect fit for Kawhi as a number 2 player, but I do think if they get another star player like a Kevin Durant, it can alter that. But either way, the SGA talk with the Clippers and correlation needs to stop. It doesn't need to keep coming up. It's came up over the last couple years, especially looking at SGA and how good he's doing. But it's not really an issue now. It's nothing really a focal point. I wish, hopefully after this conversation or this talk I'm having with you guys, hopefully this will be the last time I even hear about it or read about it myself, because it really doesn't make any sense at this point. SGA is far from the player he was with the Clippers. He's far better. He's in a far location, and he's moved on with his life and his career, and so has the Clippers. So I mean, and personally, I think if they met in a 7-game series, for some reason, I think the Clippers would actually get the best of them, because a lot of OKC's weaknesses really would be the Clippers' strengths. But we're not going to break it down, schematics and all that stuff, because that's just a whole different, topic to talk about and everything like that. But shout out to SGA and what he's doing, but also shout out to the Clippers. They're still trying to maintain. They still got Kawhi and they still got James Harden, unfortunately. Fortunately for some people. But either way, they got time to add. And this offseason, hopefully they make some moves where they could be right in the mix of the NBA finals, getting into that position themselves. So, we'll just have to see what happens.